Before we delve into this audiobook, I want to share that it was created with the sole purpose of introducing you to the enchanting world of Yggdrasil Rebirth Volume 1, The Beginning, by Zachary Schaffer. If you find this project engaging, please show your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing for more audiobooks like this. To further support such projects, consider purchasing the ebook from the link provided below. Yggdrasil Rebirth, Volume 1, The Beginning Story by Zachary Schaffer. Chapter 1, The Delinquent. 50 years ago, when the world of Ludo was shrouded in darkness, when all hope was lost, two men stood up and challenged the one causing this despair. Lord Patrick was known as the world's strongest man. The other was Robert Allister, the dragon swordsman and a powerful Esper user. An Esper is a human who can transform into a weapon their user can use to fight those who oppose them. Robert's Esper was a young woman named Terra Godslaya. She was known as the Dragon Blade, Godslaya, the true bane of demons. They would go on a long journey leading to the source of this blight, a strong, powerful demon. After a long, hard-fought battle, they would emerge victorious and defeat the monster causing the blight. But in a last-ditch attempt to make sure to take them with it, the demon exploded in a huge blast. When they cleared, both Patrick and Robert were safe from the explosion, but they would see Terra, who protected them from the blast. She was lying on the ground as she died to protect them. Robert mourned her death as he viewed her as a daughter. After the battle, things went back to normal from the blight. But Robert would disappear, never to be seen again, not even by his own family, and Lord Patrick would go on and live his life the way he wanted, and even pass his teachings to the next generation. The present day in the royal city of New Gotham. A young man was looking through the streets for someone. He was an average-sized man, as he was 16 years old. He had light-colored skin with dark purple eyes. He had short black hair. He wore a school uniform with a black and red color scheme. This young man's name is Cyrus Allister, and he is the grandson of Robert Allister and Lord Patrick. He was looking for his older twin brother as they might be late for it. "Damn it, where are you?" questioned Cyrus, who was annoyed by this. He sees another young man who looks like him in some features. He has black, spiky short hair, light-colored skin, and blue eyes. He wore the same uniform as Cyrus, his older twin brother. His name is Rise Allister. Rise is a delinquent, as he has been skipping school because he finds it boring. "Hey, Rise!" Cyrus spoke loudly. Rise turns his head and sees Cyrus, who wants his attention. "Oh, Cyrus, it's just you." "What up?" questioned Rise. "Well, are you planning on going to school today? Because you're going a different direction," said Cyrus. "If I am honest with you, bro, I am thinking of skipping again," said Rise. "But that would be a whole week you skipped?" questioned Cyrus. "You're right, Cyrus. I should just quit school. That way, you do not have to keep trying to make me go," said Rise. "Well, I will see you later." Rise walks away and plans to not go to school. "Damn it, I give up. Miss Nightingale can try getting that idiot to go to school," said Cyrus. Cyrus heads off to school. Rise keeps walking through the streets until he gets to a building that says Arcade. "I guess today I can see if I can beat my high score," said Rise. He would then enter the building through the front door. Rise looks surprised as he enters what looks like his homeroom classroom. He was teleported here by mysterious means. "What? When did I get here?" questioned Rise. He would see Cyrus enter the classroom and see Rise, but he needed clarification. Rise and Cyrus were standing in their homeroom classroom. They needed clarification about why Rise was there. "Oh, you decided to go today?" asked Cyrus. "Not really, I just appeared here," said Rise. "I wonder if Miss Nightingale has something to do with this," questioned Cyrus. "Of course, that witch did this," said Rise. "She must have cursed you to go to school," said Cyrus. "Damn," said Rise. They both head to their desks and wait for class to start. I wonder how long she will keep me cursed like this, questioned Rise. I have no idea. She could keep you cursed till you graduate, said Cyrus. Damn, I hope not, said Rise. They saw another young man enter the room. He was an average-sized man, around the same age as them. He had short brown hair, light-colored skin, and dark forest green eyes. He wore the same school uniform. He wore a red armband on his left bicep that said, Honor Student. This young man was Reese and Cyrus's childhood friend, John Ripley. He was the next head of a noble family that lived in New Gotham called the Ripley clan. Ah, good morning, John, said Cyrus. Good morning to you, Cyrus and Rise. Did you decide to head to school today? John asked. No, it's more like I am being forced to come today by Miss Nightingale, Rise answered. Ah, she finally decided to curse you, said John. Yeah, she did, said Rise. It's pretty good detective work, you. You solved how she is keeping him here, said Cyrus. Well, I am an honor student. I cannot get that through family ties now, said John. They see a man walk in and head for the teacher's desk. He has long, black, spiky hair down to the middle of his back, light blue eyes, and light-colored skin. He wears a fancy black suit, a red tie, and a gold tree emblem. This is Judas Allister. He is the older brother of both Rise and Cyrus, and the eldest son of their family. Judas, are you subbing today? Asked Cyrus. Yeah, Nightingale asked me too, said Judas. I guess today is a laid-back day, said John. Yeah, do not expect anything special. You should probably review what you have been doing, said Judas. I guess I will take a nap then, said Rise. Oh, Rise! I guess you finally came to school? Asked Judas. No, it was more like Nightingale did something, said Rise. I see now, said Judas. I tried telling her it would be better if you quit and joined the DHO. Don't you need a high school diploma? Asked Cyrus. No, it only helps you get a better position in the organization. But if you get well known as a demon hunter even without a high school diploma. I think Rise could do that as he has a high combat record, said Judas. Yeah, he did get second place in that last test for one-on-one bouts, said Cyrus. We cannot leave out our first place winner in John here, said Judas. It was no big deal, said John. You're right. When dealing with demons in the real world, tests do not matter when it comes to fighting a demon, said Judas. Rise would have done better if he used his Esper, Excalibur. Anna, I think she hates to fight, said Rise. I do not think so. Anna would love to help people out, said Cyrus. It probably concerns her weapon class, for which I do not blame you. A knife class is the worst weapon class against a demon, said Judas. That's true, said Cyrus. I still believe what I said Rise. Well, class is about to start. How about you open a window, said Judas. Rise heads to the nearby window and opens it. He stands there for a few seconds before he jumps out and lands on the grass outside. What? Questioned Cyrus. They look outside and see Rise standing there. I guess it does not work on windows, said Rise. See you guys later. Rise runs off and leaves the school grounds. I guess he figured a way out, said Judas. Rise would find himself on a hill since he figured he was stuck not going through doors because of Nightingale's curse. I guess I have to wait for school to be over to head home, said Rise. He would lay there for a little while and fell asleep. He would awake when a few hours had passed. Rise wakes up and sees someone standing in front of him, a woman in front of him. She had long, dark purple hair with light-colored skin. She had purple eyes that were glaring down at him. She wore a purple and black dress with a purple face mask covering her mouth. This was Nightingale, and she is the current headmaster at Riz's school and the Esper Academy. Nightingale? Questioned Rise with shock. Nightingale snaps her right fingers, which teleports them away. Chapter 3. Excalibur Rise finds himself inside a jail cell after Nightingale teleports him there. He sees her outside the jail cell. What going on? Asked Rise. Nightingale takes out a whiteboard and a purple marker. Since she cannot speak, she uses these to communicate with people. "It's time you get back to studying," she writes on her board. "No way, I think it better if I quit school," said Rise. "Sorry, but quitting is not the answer," writes Nightingale. They both would see a middle-aged man walk next to Nightingale. He had black hair, light-colored skin, and brown eyes. He wore a dark brown suit with a blue tie and a golden tree emblem. This was Rise's father, Rise Alistair. "Dad, Miss Nightingale has gone nuts," said Rise. "Sadly, I have come to help you, and it is not the best thing you want." "I think you should go back to school," said Rise. "I do not want to go to school anymore. I'd rather go fight demons in the DHO, said Rise. "I would agree with this, but sadly, your mother has agreed with Nightingale's plan here," said Rise. "Damn it," said Rise with anger. "You have two options, my son. You can go back to school or be placed in some sort of homeschooling here until you go back," said Rise. "How about we give him some time to think of these options," said Nightingale. They would leave the room to give Rise some time to think of these options he is offering. Meanwhile, Cyrus arrived home as it was the end of school. "I am home," said Cyrus. He sees a young girl who looks like she is in elementary school. She has red hair that goes down to her shoulders. Her skin is light-colored, with a red right eye and a blue left eye. She wears a school uniform for the Esper Academy. She is Rise's Esper, Anna Excalibur. "Oh, Rise," said Anna, before she saw it was Cyrus and not Rise. "Sorry, Anna. Rise is doing some catch-up at school," said Cyrus. "You're lying. Rise would never stay after school," said Anna. "Oh, I am sure he is. Miss Nightingale made him," said Cyrus, trying hard not to tell Anna what was happening with Rise. "All right, take me to him then," said Anna. "Hey, we can't just," said Cyrus. But he did not finish because Anna looked about to cry. "All right, fine," said Cyrus. He lost to her. "All right, let's go," said Anna. They then leave and head for the New Gotham Police Department. Rise sits on his jail cell bed, wondering what to do next, whether to stay or head back to school. He would see Cyrus and Anna enter the room outside his cell. "Anna?" questioned Rise. "Rise, why are you in a jail cell?" questioned Anna. "Nightingale is trying hard to get me to go back to school," said Rise. "Well, this was the only way she could convince you," said Cyrus. "Well, she going to try harder than this," said Rise. "I see, never going to die attitude," said Cyrus. "She gives up at some point," said Rise. "Maybe I can help you," said Anna. "I'm sorry, but I'd rather you not get in trouble for something I'm doing," said Rise. "Ah, come on. Miss Nightingale is a good friend to me," said Anna. "I said no, I will deal with this. Just be a good girl," said Rise. Even in deep shit, he still has a good heart when it comes to Anna, thinks Cyrus. They would see Nightingale, Rays, Judas, and another man. He was an average-sized man with short black hair, light-colored skin, and yellow eyes. He wore a policeman uniform for the New Gotham Police Department. This was Isaac Alistair. He is Rise's older brother and the second older brother, and he was the one who set this up. "So, have you decided yet?" asked Rise. "Yeah, I am not going to school," said Rise. "I was afraid of this," said Rise. "Then you should meet the one who will be your tutor as you will be staying here," writes Nightingale. A young woman enters the room outside the jail cell. She has long black hair, light-colored skin, and brown eyes. She wears the same school uniform, but it is the one for female students at Rise's school. This is Lydia Draken. She is Rise and Cyrus's childhood friend and an honor student at their school. "Man, I feel bad for you," said Cyrus. "Someone has to make this dummy learn," said Lydia. "I agree. It's time you learn what you missed, Rise," said Isaac. "Sorry, but I'd rather sleep," said Rise as he lay in his cell bed. "I think you should compile unless you'd rather stay in this cell," said Isaac. He steps up to the cell's bars. Rise gets up, heads over, and glares at Isaac. "Then make me compile then, asshole," said Rise. Then I guess you will be staying for a while, said Isaac. He leaves the room and heads back to work. Miss Nightingale, can you please let him out? Asked Anna. Nightingale looks down at Anna and sighs. How about we go get some ice cream? Said Rise. Yeah, that sounds like a perfect idea, said Judas. Anna looks at Rise. Go, you do not need to worry about me, okay, said Rise. All right, said Anna. They would then leave the New Gotham Police Department and head to Anna's favorite ice cream shop. Rise heads back to his bed and lies down. He looks at his right hand, which has the keys to his cell, as he stole them from Isaac when he was having a stare down with him. I guess I will wait a bit before I make my grand escape, said Rise. Chapter 4: Invaders. They were at the ice cream shop with Anna to help cheer her up from Rise being in jail. How is your ice cream, kid? Asked Judas. All right, said Anna. It's all right. I hope Rise changes his mind about returning to school, said Cyrus. I could try to convince your mother. I have a connection in the DHO to get him a good position, said Rise. Good luck with that, Dad, said Cyrus. Yeah, Mom could be challenging to change her mind, said Judas. She just wants the best for you kids, even your Esper, said Rise. Only 3 of us have them. Cyrus insists we're lucky not to have that headache, said Judas. How is your daughter? Writes Nightingale. She is living with her husband in Marrow, said Rise. She calls us once a week to tell us how things are. Good to hear my younger twin sister is doing all right, said Judas. So when you get married? Asked Cyrus. Whenever I feel like it. Plus, my Esper is a package deal, said Judas. She was like Anna when she was younger. A princess, said Rise. Yeah, now she only wants to go shopping for clothes. She grew up too quick, said Judas. She just became an older princess to me, said Cyrus. They would hear a siren go off nearby, which meant demons were about to attack this part of the city. Looks like we need to return to work, said Judas. Yes, Cyrus takes Anna and them into the ice cream shop till it is all clear, said Rise. We will go make sure the people are safe. Sure thing, Pops, said Judas. Rise and Judas help the area, while Cyrus, Nightingale, Lydia, and Anna go into the ice cream shop and hide there until it is clear to come out. In Rise's jail cell, Rise is sleeping when he suddenly jolts up as he senses danger. What is something going on outside? Questioned Rise. He heads over to the door, opens it with the keys he stole, and runs outside the New Gotham Police Department. Rise runs through the streets, heading to the ice cream shop where they went since he is worried about Anna. He keeps running until he sees 2 DHO guards being attacked by demons. The demons look like red bulls with flames coming from their backs. Rise sees a steel sword on the ground that belongs to one of the guards. He picks it up and attacks the demonic bulls, and he can defeat them with ease. He checks on them. Are you guys all right? Asked Rise. Yeah, thanks to you, Rise, said one of the guards. He sees one of the guards is badly injured. You should take him to shelter to get him treated, said Rise. Yeah, I will. You can help us fight these bastards. Just give the sword to Judas when you finish, said the guard. Yeah, no worry, I got this from here, said Rise. He would then leave them and head over to the ice cream shop. He makes it to the ice cream shop and sees it locked down. He scans around the building for a way in. Rise would see a window on the 2nd floor that he could get up using a drain pipe. He goes up the pipe and enters the ice cream shop through the upstairs window. Rise walks down the stairs and enters the leading shop where he sees Anna, Nightingale, Cyrus, and Lydia. Rise, questioned Anna. Anna, you are all right, said Rise. How did you get out? Asked Lydia. Please, you think that jail can hold me, said Rise. That does not matter right now, said Cyrus. This part of the town is under attack by those demons. Yeah, it seems there is a bunch of them around, said Rise. You should go help Dad and Judas and take care of these demons, said Cyrus. Good idea, brother, said Rise. Can I help you? Asked Anna. I don't think you are ready to fight demons yet, said Rise. "Ah, come on," said Anna. She was making a pouting face at him. "Hey, it's safe for you here," said Rise. "Just take her. It would be good to have a backup weapon when fighting demons," said Lydia. "Yeah, it would be good to use your Esper," said Cyrus. "All right, fine. But if things get too rough, you run, okay?" said Rise. He places his right hand out, waiting for Anna to transform into her weapon form. "Yes, I can finally help you," said Anna excitedly. Anna then transforms into her weapon form and appears in Rize's right hand, making him stumble forward because he does not realize that Anna's weapon form was not a knife class and is now a great sword class. She had a silver-colored blade with a flame design at the tip of the blade. She had a red hilt with a red firebird for a guard design. "Holy crap," said Rize. "I guess she changed," said Lydia. "It is possible she went through an evolution, but it is impossible to change classes like that," said Cyrus. "Well, this is great. Now Excalibur can be the best weapon to slay demons," said Rise with a smile as he raised the blade. "Just be careful out there. The people come first," writes Nightingale. "Right," said Rise. Rise heads back up the stairs and heads back outside the ice cream shop. He sees more bull demons walking around and starts to slash them apart with Excalibur in his hands. He would keep fighting the demons and were looking for the source where the demons were coming from. Chapter 5. The Demon Realm. Rise was running through the streets of New Gotham with Excalibur. He was slicing through every bull demon that came across from him. He would see a red portal where he sees a bunch of bull demons coming from. "If we go in and close that, the demons will stop coming here," said Rise. Judas was nearby on a building holding a steel sword as he saw Rise down below. "Oh," said Judas with surprise as he saw Rise using Excalibur. He warps down below to where Rise is. "Well, it looks like you took my advice," said Judas. "Yeah, she changed a bit, and now she wants to slay demons," said Rise. "Well, you might have guessed the bastard in charge of this is on the other side. I was waiting for my Esper to finally come to the scene. But trying to get her to answer the phone is the next thing," said Judas. "So, are you heading in?" "Yeah, someone got to close this thing," said Rise. "Well, the demon realm is not an easy place to be in," said Judas. "It should get ready for me then," said Rise with a smile. Judas laughs at that remark. "Just be careful in there, all right?" asked Judas. "I will," said Rise. Rise takes off towards the portal and attacks any bull demon that gets in his way. He eventually enters the portal, which brings him to the demon realm. Rise would appear in what looked like rocky mountains. Rise scanned around and checked out the demon realm. He saw the grass was red with trees with black bark and red leaves. The dirt even looked darker than regular dirt from his world. "Man, this place looks strange," said Rise. Suddenly, something big jumps down behind Rize, which gets his attention. He sees a vast humanoid creature with a red fur body. It stood over 10 feet tall. It had a bull-like head with flames coming from the back of its head. It was carrying a large battle axe. This creature was known as Meotor, the leader of the bull demon. "The hell are you?" questioned Rise. "A human? I guess I can have a treat before heading to the human realm," said Meotor. "What? Do you think this meal is free? Good luck, pal. I think you would make better steaks," said Rise as he got ready to fight Meotor. When he hears that, Meotor laughs, feeling he can crush Rise with his hoof feet in one step. "You have a tough spirit, young human. I shall enjoy ripping you apart," said Meotor. Meotor goes in and swings his battle axe, but as he is about to hit Rise, he blocks it with Excalibur, parries Meotor's attack, and counters it by cutting his left leg off. Meotor would fall on his back and hold his severed leg. "I guess I was too much for your menu," said Rise, but Rise noticed Meotor was starting to laugh at him. "You are strong for a young human, and I see you are an Esper user. This will be a good fight then," said Meotor. Rise sees Meotor regrow his leg from nothing. "At least you got some good party tricks, but can you grow your head after I cut it off?" said Rise with a smile that a maniac could make. "I will show you true pain," said Meotor. Meotor picks up his battle axe and goes in for an overhead chop. Rise dodges it by rolling to the left. Rise gets up and runs around Meotor. It tries to squash Rise with his left leg when he gets close, but Rise manages to avoid it with his speed. Rise sees an opening, heads in, and impales Meotor from the stomach. Meotor grabs him with his right hand and slams Rise to the ground. Meotor jumps up and tries to double stomp Rise, but Rise rolls out of the way to the left. Rise sees that Meotor is having a hard time healing his stomach wound. Rise then goes in for another attack at Meotor. Meotor swings his battle axe at him, but Rise jumps up and stabs Meotor in the head, which makes Meotor fall. "Impossible," said Meotor. Meotor starts to fade away as he dies from Rise's attack. Rise falls to one knee to rest, but he notices the portal from which he came. He rushes to the portal to return to his world, but only manages to get Excalibur and his left arm through. He felt as if the portal was about to close. "I'm sorry we could not keep fighting together, Anna. Please live a good life without me being there," said Rhys as the portal closed on him, trapping him in the demon realm. In the human realm, Anna returns to her human form as she looks at Judas, who is horrified at what he saw behind her. She turned her head back to see what he was looking at. She saw Rise's severed left arm on the ground, which made her scream. In the demon realm, Rise sat by a tree on the ground. He managed to tie a piece of cloth around what remained of his left severed arm so he did not bleed to death. He would see a bunch of demons that were led here by the smell of his blood. He considers a rusty iron sword by the tree and picks it up with his right hand. "I hope you did not expect an easy meal from me, you bastards. If I am going down here, I will see how many I can take with me," said Rise as he lunged at the demons coming for him. Chapter 6. The Demon in Black. A month has passed since Rise was trapped in the demon realm, and he was still alive, but he may be nearing his limit as he has been fighting demons since he lost his left arm. He was walking through the rock area, his clothes all torn and ripped from fighting the demons and surviving. Rise was tired as he did not get much rest, constantly being attacked by demons, and his sword was broken in half. He eventually falls to the ground and passes out, finally ready to accept his fate. But something happens as a demon dressed in a black cloak, and his face is hidden in the shadows of his hood, and two red horns on his head. What do we have here? A human?" questioned the demon in black. After a while, Rhys would awake inside a cave covered in a ragged blanket. "Where am I?" questioned Rise as he thought he would die. He scans the cave until he sees the demon in black walking towards him. "Ah, so you are finally awake, young human," said the demon in black. "What's going on? I am surprised a demon would save me," said Rise. "That's true, but I am not like those that feed on the humans. Those are the dumb ones," said the demon in black. The demon in black would then get down to his knees, make a campfire, and light it. "How long was I out?" asked Rise. "About a week. I could tell you've been hunted down for a while," said the demon in black. "About a month if I went by day to day," said Rise. "A month? Damn, you must be a tough one," said the demon in black. "Yeah, I guess I got lucky," said Rise. "So, what is your plan?" asked the demon in black. "Portals are rare around here and only appear once. It could be years before you find another one, and who knows where you would make yourself appear?" "I do not know. I was ready to die, and I do not believe they think I am still alive back home," said Rise. "I see. Well, I have a proposal if you are interested, and may help you live longer here in our world," said the demon in black. "What do you have in mind?" asked Rise. "You become a demon," said the demon in black. "Is that possible?" questioned Rise. "Yes, I can give you my arm here since you do not have one," said the demon in black. Well, it's better than what will happen if I don't take this offer. I accept, said Rise. No question, huh? I am surprised. But it's better than being in a demon's belly, said the demon in black. I figure I was never a good human anyway, said Rise. The demon in black laughs at that remark as it feels like he is talking to a crazy person. You a funny human. I guess it is time for introductions. I am Mugetsu, a servant to Lord Azazel, a powerful demon lord here in the demon realm, said the demon in black, who revealed his name as Mugetsu. I am Reese Alistair, said Rise. This process will take a bit to get used to, but I feel you can handle it, said Mugetsu. I understand, said Rise. He falls back to sleep because Mugetsu uses a sleep spell to ensure he is comfortable with this. Mugetsu takes out his strange black sword with his right hand and uses it to cut his left arm off. Let me begin, said Mugetsu. Reese found himself in a strange room with only 12 empty thrones, but he saw one bigger and had something or someone on it. He saw a black orb with a dark aura and a number 1. What is this place? Asked Rise. Did I die? Welcome to my world, said the orb. You must be the strange human that Mugetsu spoke of. Who are you? Asked Res. I am Azazel. I am a devil in my lands, said the orb, who was revealed to be Azazel. You're his lord, said Rise. Yes and no, I would rather be called his brother. He, too, is a devil. They are my family, said Azazel. But the real reason I have called you here is to invite you to join my family. To join your family? You know, I wouldn't say I like most demons, especially those who harm innocent people. Can you accept one who hates your kind? Said Rise. I admire your resolve to protect those who can't, but you cannot say that there are also humans out there who are evil and plan to ruin those who are innocent, said Azazel. You're right, but even if I agree with you as my lord, I still plan to fight those who threaten the weak demon or human, said Rise. Of course, I would sing your praise of your good deeds, said Azazel. Well, Mugetsu saved my life, and he is the first good demon I have met, and if he is serving you, then you must be a good demon as well, said Rise. I will serve you, Lord Azazel. He sees what looks like a right hand with long nails emerge from Azazel's orb and points at his left chest. Welcome to my family, Rise Alistair, said Azazel. Rise wakes up in the cave and sits up. He feels something where his left arm is and looks. He sees he has Mugetsu's left arm attached to him, which looks like it is healed. The arm looked like it had black armor with black spikes, and he had long nails that looked like claws. He was able to move it around with ease. He gets up and heads outside the cave. He sees he is still in the Rocky Mountains, sees a pond before him, and goes to it. He kneels and takes a drink with his hands. As he finishes, he sees that his eyes have changed from blue to crimson red. He also notices a mark on his left chest, which is 13. I guess this is what I am now, said Rise. He hears footsteps and sees Mugetsu walking to him. You're awake, brother, said Mugetsu. Yeah, the new arm is working well, said Rise. Well, it's time we depart now. This could be a long journey for us, said Mugetsu. He puts down his hood and reveals his face to Reese. He has grayish skin with yellow eyes, black hair, a multicolored bandana, and 2 red horns pointing up on his head side. As I said before, I am Mugetsu, a sword demon and a devil that serves Lord Azazel, said Mugetsu. I am Rise Alistair, a human who has become a demon, and I now serve Lord Azazel, said Rise. Let us be off then. They start their journey together. After a while, they would set up camp where Rise was still adjusting to his new arm. Mugetsu was making dinner when he saw Reese drawing on the ground with a stick. He saw he was doing math in the dirt, which he saw he was doing wrong. Man, you suck at math, said Mugetsu. So demons do math too? Asked Rise. Yes, we smarter ones are like humans in a way, said Mugetsu. I see. There is a lot I need to learn about this world, said Rise. How about we start with you using your new powers, said Mugetsu. Mugetsu sticks his right hand out and can summon his strange black sword. This is my power. I can summon a weapon to use in combat and change into other weapons, said Mugetsu. Just think about summoning a weapon in your hand. Rize would then raise his right hand and think about summoning a sword, and one would appear. It had a dark red blade with a white hilt resembling roots. I did it, said Rize. Mugetsu looked confused because he thought it would look like his, but he could not complain because Rize did what he asked. Well, at least you can protect yourself now, said Mugetsu. Yeah, this will come in handy for sure, said Rise.
Chapter 7. Homecoming. It has been 3 years since Rize was trapped in the demon realm. People from his world are believed to be dead, but unknown to them, he has survived by becoming a demon. He was now 19 years old and traveling with the Mugetsu demon. They were walking through a desert during a sandstorm. Rize has managed to get some new clothes from hides and pelts, which Mugetsu sewed together. He has grown and is more muscular from fighting demons with Mugetsu. They were traveling to Azazel's capital, where Rize was about to meet Azazel for the first time. Mugetsu would spot a cave in the distance. Hey, we can sit in there till the storm passes, said Mugetsu. Right, said Rize. They head inside the cave and wait for the storm to pass. They both sit down and Mugetsu starts to make a fire to cook food for them. Are you nervous? Asked Mugetsu. Not really, I figured I would meet our Lord at some point, said Rize. Rize did not think of that at all. He was starting to feel homesick and miss his old world. He has been like this for a while now. He would even think about what Anna, who was 9 years old, was doing now. Mugetsu looks and can tell what is happening with him since he has been traveling with Rize since they met. You're thinking of home again, said Mugetsu. Nothing gets past you, said Rize. You always get this look when you think of home. It's okay, Rize. I would never expect you to forget about them, said Mugetsu. Thanks, Mugetsu. The only thing I can do is hope everything is all right, said Rise. They see outside the cave that the storm has passed and head back outside to continue their way through the desert to Azazel's capital. As they walked, Mugetsu would spot something that caught his eye. He saw a bunch of crab demons, the size of people in blue, around a portal that led to the human world. Mugetsu then ran towards it. Hey, questioned Rize in confusion. With his sword drawn, he followed Mugetsu, who was heading for the crabs. Rize would draw his blade, and they easily defeated the crab demons. That takes care of them, said Rize. Rize stared at the portal leading to the human realm, but before he knew it, Mugetsu pushed him in. Don't worry, I will make an excuse for why I could not meet Lord Azazel, said Mugetsu with a smile. Rize enters the portal and returns to the human realm, where he has been absent for 3 years. Meanwhile, in the human realm, a bunch of DHO guards were fighting a blue giant lobster demon in the streets of New Gotham. The DHO were struggling to fight, but suddenly, they saw Rize's demon sword come out of the portal and stab the lobster demon in the head. They were all confused as they saw a demon they were fighting and had a hard time with it was dead. But they all got back on guard when they saw Rize with his hood and face covered. What kind of demon is that? Questioned a DHO guard. But before they questioned anymore, Rize was gone, and his sword was too. They looked around but could not find him. Rize was watching them from above on a building sitting. Wow, I'm finally home. But I better keep my guard up before the bigger hunters notice me, said Rize. A guard looks up at where he is sitting, but Rize has already left the area. After a while, Rize was walking through the alleys when he heard an announcement. Attention, a strange demon is on the loose. Please go to the local shelter until told otherwise, said the loudspeaker. I guess I was not sneaky enough, said Rize. He kept walking around the alleys until he did not hear noise coming from the main streets. He went out to check and saw everyone gone and in the shelter. Well, I did not expect the red carpet treatment when I returned, said Rize. He would see a bench where he smelt food and where he saw someone about to have lunch at a fast food place. Man, I haven't had this in years. I guess I hit the jackpot, said Rize. He sits down and starts to eat the food, but he saw a camera looking at him from a corner of a building. He gives it the peace sign gesture with his left hand. I hope this tells them I come in peace, said Rize. but he sees a bunch of DHO guards running at him with their weapons drawn. "I guess not," said Reese. They surround him quickly and point their weapons at him as he finishes the meal. "Listen, I do not want trouble now," said Raz. "It speaks?" questioned one of the guards. "I guess it no use then," said Raz. He gets up and waits as they attack him, but they notice he disappeared again and has left the area in the blink of an eye. Rise was walking on top of a building. "They are probably going to send the big dogs next now since they cannot get me," said Reese. "Hey," said a voice from behind him. Rise turns and sees Judas behind him with a steel sword. Rise sees his older brother after 3 years. "You are making a big problem for us," said Judas. Rise sees Judas does not recognize him since he has grown up and is wearing different clothes. Rise thinks to play along with him. "Am I now?" said Rise. "I figured I have some fun in the human realm." "Well, your fun is disrupting the peace," said Judas. "Go home. I can tell you're not as strong without your Esper. Ultima with you," said Rise. This confused Judas and made him more cautious, as he did not say he was an Esper user of this demon in front of him. "How?" "That does not matter because you will be dead," said Judas. Judas goes in for an attack with his sword, but Rise kicked the blade up with his right foot when he got close. Judas teleports to sneak attack behind Rise with a stabbing attack, but Rise summons his demon sword to block it from behind. "You know it's quite rude to stab someone in the back," said Rise. "You're pissing me off now," said Judas. "Trust me, I am just getting some payback," said Rise. "Payback? I never met you before?" questioned Judas. "Oh, trust me, we meet before," said Rise. They see a helicopter coming towards which takes Judas's eyes off him for a moment to run away. "Damn it! Just what was that demon?" questioned Judas. Later that day it was turning night, and Reyes was in an abandoned factory building with a fire made from scrap wood. "Man, what a day! But now what do I do? I have to find a way to," said Rise before he sensed danger. Reese gets up and draws his sword, but no one is around. Reese stabs the ground as he knows what is going on. He saw something from his shadow jump out in front of him. He saw his younger brother, Cyrus. He was wearing a DHO outfit from a squad. "What? Damn," said Cyrus. He was in pain as he was stabbed in the arm. "Man, you thought you hide from me now," said Reese. "I was wondering when you had time to sneak up on me with your shadow magic, Cyrus." "Wait, how do you know my name?" said Cyrus. "But you're not alone, are you?" asked Rise. Reese felt a strong gust of wind from the front door as he saw a man enter the room. He saw John Ripley standing in front of him. He wore Cyrus's suit and a red armband with the letter C. He was carrying a katana in its sheath. "Ah, a captain?" asked Rise. "Correct. You are a very smart demon," said John. "I would not say that," said Rise. "So what will you do now?" asked John. He would be confused when Rise dropped his sword on the ground and raised his hands. "I surrender," said Rise. Cyrus looked as confused as John seeing this and wondered if it was a trap. "Captain, I would not trust him," said Cyrus. "Yeah, it's strange, though, that in all the reports we have now, no human was not injured," said John. "Well, I do not want to hurt a human. I only wanted to cause some mischief around the town like I used to," said Raz. Before he noticed, John had drawn his sword, which had a green blade with swirl marks and a black hilt. This was his Esper Kusangi. It was so fast that Reese barely dodged it in time. John ripped off Reese's hood and revealed his face to them. "Ah, shoot! My plans are now ruined," said Raz. "Rise?" questioned John. "What's going on? You are supposed to be dead," said Cyrus. "Well, I am not," said Rise. Chapter 8 Seal. Since surrender, Rise had been back inside a jail cell, cutting his hair with his sword in the mirror until it matched what he had before he left for the demon realm. "Perfect. Now I am ready to meet everyone again," said Rise. He then sees Reyes and Judas enter the room and look at him. "Well, I guess you are alive," said Judas. "And you got tall and got muscles too." "Yeah, and I see you finally caught up with me," said Rise. "You got me good earlier," said Judas. "I am just surprised you survived the demon realm," said Reyes. "I got lucky, that is all," said Reyes. "I met this demon named Mugetsu, and he was the one who saved my life." "A demon saved you?" questioned Judas. "Yes, in the demon realm. Some demons do not want to feed off humans. They even have a built society," said Rez. "Interesting," said Reyes. Well, it has been 3 years, and most people think you perished after that battle. But here you are. But things will not be easy for you if they find out you are a demon now, said Judas. I think we could come up with something, said Raz. Yes, but first, we have to do something about your left arm, said Reyes. It's gonna stick out like a sore thumb, said Judas. I have an idea. If we bring him to my garage, we will get to work, said Reyes. They would get Rise out of the jail cell and head over to Reyes' garage, where they would work on making Rise's left arm look normal to human eyes. Reyes sat in a wooden chair with his shirt off and left arm strapped to the table. So how are you gonna do this? Asked Rise. He sees them get power tools, ready to mold Rise's arm. This might hurt a lot, said Judas. People in the streets nearby could hear Rise scream because of the pain he was going through from them working on his left arm. After an hour had passed, they removed all the armor and cut his claws from his left arm, which was covered in blood. Reyes was leaning down with sweat and tears running down his face. Damn, that was way worse than my arm getting cut off, said Rise in pain. Well, it's over, brother, said Judas. How about you go wash up, said Reyes. I will get you some fresh clothes, son. Rise gets up and heads for the shower, cleaning himself. He puts on a black tank top, jeans, and white socks when he gets out. They wrap his left arm in bandages, which hide his demon arm. They head for the living room to discuss what will happen next. So what the plan now? Asked Judas. I currently have people trying to erase anything that happened in the Flaming Bull case that had Rise in it. We act like we sent Rise away to live in a military school across the sea, said Reyes. It could work, but you have to pull some major strings to get every record of that event, said Judas. I think I can with Nightingale since she was a founder of DHO, said Reyes. True, have you told her about Rise? Asked Judas. Yes, she is bringing Anna home, said Reyes. How is she doing? Asked Rise. After she came back, she was depressed and did not want to talk to anyone. But she managed to get past it with the help of Lydia and Nightingale, said Judas. That's good. I was worried she did not come back, said Rise. Well, it was not easy, but we managed, said Reyes. So what the plan now? Asked Judas. Well, can I enter the DHO with this? Asked Rise. I do not know, questioned Judas. It is possible. You have to hide your arm and allow Nightingale to put a seal on you, said Reyes. Would that affect my powers? Asked Rise. Only your demonic one, said Reyes. Yeah, the DHO cannot sense you through their tech, said Judas. Well, I guess it will be all right if I can live normally, said Reyes. They should be here soon, said Reyes. After an hour, they see Nightingale enter the room with Anna. Anna has grown in the last 3 years. She is now 9. She is taller now and she wears a new school uniform with a black sweater over it. She looks at Rise because she thinks he is dead. Rise, you're alive, said Anna. Of course you think demons could get me. Come on, have a little faith in me, said Rise. Out of nowhere, she goes in and hugs him. Wait, you have your arm back? Asked Anna. Well, it's a long story, said Reyes. Reyes would then explain to Anna and them how his 3 years in the demon realm have been and how he met the demon Mugetsu. I see. That is how you managed. It was luck, said Reyes. Wait, you said he was a devil? Questioned Judas. What is a devil? Asked Anna. A high-ranked demon group in the demon realm, but they are a myth, said Judas. Well, they are real, said Reyes. Reyes lifts his shirt and shows them the number 13 on his chest, indicating that he is also a devil. Whoa, you're a devil? Questioned Reyes with shock. Yeah, so is Mugetsu. There are only 13 of us, said Reyes. Nightingale gets her whiteboard out and writes. Are you ready? She asked. Yeah, I am, said Rise. She walks up to him and starts to draw around the number on his chest, and a glow appears. After she is done, there are 3 black circles around the number 13 on his chest. She backs up to tell him she is done sealing his demon powers. It is done, said Reyes. Reyes sticks his right hand out and summons his demon sword. It is weaker now. That is fine. I have my other weapon back now, said Rise. Chapter 9 Squad. It has been a month since Rise has returned to the human realm. He was now working with the DHO and John's squad, and rose through the ranks quickly with his skills. He was even their squad's #1 demon slayer. He was sitting with Anna after finishing a job on a stone fence. Reyes was wearing a DHO skin suit. Man, this might get me another raise, said Rise. That's great, said Anna. They would see John, Cyrus, and a young girl walk to them. This was John's Esper. She looked to be the same age as Anne. She had long, light green hair and light-colored green eyes. She wore the same school uniform as Anna. Her name is Casey Kusangi. "Good work today," said John. "Thanks, boss," said Reese. "Man, he is natural. Soon he will have my job," said Cyrus. "Me a vice captain." "No thanks. I'd rather keep fighting than do paperwork," said Rise. "Figured as much," said John. "So what next?" asked Rise. "Well, nothing much, but we may be going on a mission outside the city," said John. "Yeah, but we have to team up with Ramza's squad," said Cyrus. "Ramza?" questioned Rise. "He is a captain like me and a very skilled hunter, but he has a bad temper and is reckless," said John. "Yeah, he is also a user of those demon drugs," said Cyrus. "Yeah, but he cannot get in trouble for that." "The Demon Hunter organization has stated that the demon drug is as good of a tool as a weapon," said John. "Humans are using demon blood to get stronger." "Now that was not around when I was here 3 years ago," said Reese. "Well, it has been a new thing for a year now, but the drug should not be used in my option. But John here is starting a petition to ban its use," said Cyrus. "There you go," said Raz. "Just you know, Ramza will try to tick you off. I want us all to be on our best behavior," said John. "Yes, sir," said Rise and Cyrus simultaneously. "Good, well, it's time we let the cleaners do their job. We will meet up at base tomorrow," said John. "Yes, sir," said Rise. They then disband and head back home. In the meantime, Rise had decided to live with Cyrus, but Cyrus had to do some paperwork at the office, and he was bringing Anna back home to Raise's house. "What a day," said Rise. "You think we will fight demons tomorrow?" asked Anna. "Who knows," said Rise. "They have to find a portal first." "Yeah, that's how you came back," said Anna. "Rise?" asked a familiar voice to him. He turned to see who was calling him, and he saw Lydia. She was now tall and wearing a black hoodie, jeans, and white shoes. "Lydia," asked Rise. "So it true, you have returned from the demon realm," said Lydia. "Yeah, thank you for helping Anna during a rough time," said Rise. "It was no problem. I just wanted to help her," said Lydia before she was surprised. She would see Rise bow to thank her. "So, what are you doing now?" asked Rise. "I am going to New Gotham University, and I am studying to become an Esper's teacher," said Lydia. "Oh, that is cool," said Rise. "Yeah, well, I have a test tomorrow. I am sure we will run into each other again," said Lydia. "Yeah, right now I live with Cyrus," said Rise. "Oh, we live in the same building. I live on the first floor," said Lydia. "Never knew," said Reese. "Just getting Anna home." "All right, see you later then," said Lydia. They would then leave and head home. A few days pass and Rise and Anna head out to meet the rest of the squad in a village outside the city. He enters a room inside a building and sees Cyrus waiting for them. "Ah, brother," said Cyrus. "Are you ready to head out?" asked Reese. "Yeah, preparations are almost done," said Cyrus. "Ramza's squad is already there. I gather that strange demon-like creatures have been appearing around this village, and we must find out why." "Strange demons? Now this could be interesting," said Reese. "Just ensure you keep you and Anna safe," said Cyrus. "Of course," said Reese. They see John and Casey join them. "We are all set. It's time to head out," said John. "Let's get going then," said Cyrus. The rest of the squad board a DHO bus and head for the village of Hotham, where they will join Ramza's team. Chapter 10. Hotham. They would make it to the outskirts of the village of Hotham. They would reach a place where Ramza's squad made a base camp. They walk up to the main tent where Ramza is supposed to be waiting. They enter a big tent and see a young man waiting for them. He was an average-sized man. He had light-colored skin, black eyes, and spiky black hair. He wore a black eye patch over his left eye. He wore a DHO skin suit with a captain armband on his left arm. "Captain Ramza, we are here to help," said John. "I'm sorry, last I checked, I did not ask for help, and I would rather have someone else than some silver spoon brat," said Ramza. "Sorry, but the higher-ups have sent us here," said John. "And I have this under control. If you want to help, get back to the city and get lost," said Ramza. "Sorry, but we are not leaving until the mission is complete," said John. "Fine, do whatever. Just stay out of my way," said Ramza. They leave the tent and head over to the bus. "Man, that guy is a real piece of work," said Reese. "Yeah, that is Ramza. He's some prick," said Cyrus. "Well, it's time we get started," said John. Rise, take some of our men and patrol the forest for these demons? Yes, sir, said Rise. Cyrus, we will go investigate in the village, said John. They would split up and head out to their destinations. Cyrus and Cyrus entered the town of Hotham and walked to the factory building. They also noticed that when they are walking, they barely notice anybody in the city, as if it is a ghost town. Man, where is everyone? Asked Cyrus. I wonder as well. This is probably why the DHO has sent us to find out what is happening here, said John. They said that Ramza has been allowed to protect this area, but with the sight of these strange demons, I have a bad feeling about this, said Cyrus. I agree. First, we should gather information on what this factory is creating, said John. Rees was walking through the forest as the mist came down. He noticed the man he was with had disappeared. He had Excalibur ready in his right hand. Where'd they go? Questioned Rees. Well, at least I got you, Anna. Rees hears a noise and prepares his sword to see what comes at him. He waits to listen to what happens next when strange blob creatures suddenly attack him in a brown color. Rees jumps back and slashes at them to counterattack. Rees gets ready to strike when he notices they have a corpse inside them, with DHO clothing. Damn it, I was careless to save them, said Rees. He then saw in the blob that they had different numbers from Ramza's squad. What? Questioned Rise. But he was attacked by blobs again, but Rise managed to cut them down with ease. He then figured it might be a good time to return to Ramza's camp. John and Cyrus were sneaking around the factory, where they saw a bunch of men in hazmat suits working. They stood on a roof looking down behind a chimney. They look busy, said Cyrus. How much are they making? Asked John. Looks like a ton. They must be selling a ton to low-class hunters, said Cyrus. We should head inside, said John. They see a worker nearby, and Cyrus uses his ability to hide in the shadows. He and John hide in his shadow as he heads back inside. Riz returned to Ramza's camp and saw it was empty. Only their bus was left. He went over and saw his men were knocked out as they stayed in the camp. Could Ramza's guys do this? Or maybe something else is happening here, said Riz. He hears large footsteps. He looks and sees vast creatures. The blobs have combined and changed into a blob-like dragon, oozing slime out of its body. Oh, that's great, said Rise. It starts attacking Rise with a big bite attack, and Rise attacks it with slashes on its face. The dragon stumbles back. Rise holds his sword up. Ignite, said Rise. Excalibur's blade catches fire, and Rise runs up, goes for a jump attack, cuts its head off, and watches the body catch fire. Rise hears more footsteps coming towards him. He looked as he saw a bunch of blob dragons coming at him. Ah, great. We've got our work cut out for us today, Anna, said Raz. Meanwhile, in the factory, the man in the hazmat suit reached a large room where a man wearing a lab coat was with Ramza. It seems we are running out of test subject, said the lab coat man. I found more, but it seems we have company. I feel the DHO might be getting suspicious of us, said Ramza. They sent a noble captain here. Is it John Ripley? Asked the lab coat man. Yes, they sent him here to help with the strange creatures. But I was not born yesterday, said Ramza. Yes, Captain. We have to move to another place, said the lab coat man. Yes, said Ramza. He then throws a knife at the hazmat suit man's shadow as he feels something is wrong. John and Cyrus leave his shadow before it lands. I knew I smelt rats, said Ramza. Captain Ramza, you are violating your duties to the Demon Hunter organization, said John. If you have not figured it out, the DHO is only a stepping stone for me, said Ramza. You bastard, you only cared about making that drug, said Cyrus. I have a question for you, rich, spoiled brats. You know what it is like to be poor or hungry. The DHO only wants the best of the rich so that they can benefit from the rich families, said Ramza. But enough talk. This is where your lives end. Chapter 11, Ramza's True Intentions. John draws out his sword, Esper, Kusangi, and Cyrus draws out his black dagger. Surrender now, said John. Make me, said Ramza. Ramza then draws something from his back. It is a foldable scythe that looks like it was made especially for him. Look out, Cyrus. That is an XE weapon. They are giving to high-ranked people in the DHO who do not have espers, said John. Ramza then slashes his scythe and unleashes an energy wave at them. John flies up, and Cyrus ducks into the shadows to avoid the attack. Ramza sees that all the workers have escaped. John goes in for a slash, but Ramza blocks the attack. I have to say I am impressed with Captain Ripley, the youngest ever to become a DHO captain. It usually takes 5 years to get even to that level, and you've done it in 1, said Ramza. It must be nice to have that rich family lineage. You hate the rich for some reason, said John. It is something you would never understand. You never had to grow up hungry and wondering if you would live at the end of the week, said Ramza. Who is the real monster? The demons? No, the real monsters are the ones who benefit from the commoners. You're right. I would not understand what you went through, but even you have to think this is wrong, said John. Yeah, I do. But this is what the world needs. A force willing to destroy the DHO, said Ramza. Bastard, said Cyrus. Ramza parries John off him, pulls out another knife in his left hand, and stabs John in the stomach. John coughs blood and staggers back. Cyrus uses his shadow magic to get John out of the way, and he appears behind Cyrus. Damn it, I got careless, said John. You did. It would be best if you were trained to prepare for anything, said Ramza. Your weakness is your lack of battle experience. Ramza approaches them with his scythe up, ready to finish them off. He swings before he lands an attack on Cyrus, who is protecting John. Rise appears and blocks it with Excalibur. Rise's clothes were torn from fighting all the blob dragons. Sorry, I was late, said Rhys. Huh? A regular guard, said Ramza. Rise, how did you find us? Asked Cyrus. I felt some strong presence over here, and it was just John and this guy fighting, said Rise. Sensing? Questioned Cyrus. And you, what the hell you have done to your men they trusted you, said Rise. Ah, so you meet the defects. They are still living, are they not? Said Ramza with a smile. Plus, they are more potent than before. Turning your men into mindless creatures. You're a monster, said Rise. Looks who's talking. You're part of the Alistair family and the grandson of 2 legendary heroes. Your grandfather is one of the founders of the DHO. I see you are the real monster. I don't care about that bullshit. My grandfather only wanted to help people who cannot fight against demons or those who wanted to harm the innocent, said Rhys. Your grandfather only wanted said Ramza before he was interrupted. Rhys stopped him from saying another word by slamming his left hand into his face. I do not know what your deal is, but the one thing I hate most is those who talk badly about my family, said Rise. Ramza jumps back after being struck and rubs the area where he got punched with his left hand. For a grunt, you're strong, said Ramza. I think you can take care of him, Rise, asked John. Leave it to me, Captain. This bastard, I am going to make you pay for what he has done to his men and the people who lived here, said Rise. Cyrus, let's head back, said John. Yes, sir, said Cyrus. Cyrus helps John, and they head back as Rise stays to fight Ramza. Ramza heads in with his scythe, and Rise clashes with him after swinging Excalibur. Ramza keeps hacking at him, but Rise keeps blocking until an opening appears, and Rise slashes back, making Ramza jump back. They were evenly matched. Damn, if only my powers were not sealed, Rhys thinks to himself as he knows if he was not fighting at full strength because of the seal on him by Nightingale. I think it's time we stop playing around, said Ramza. What are you talking about? Questioned Rez. Rhys watches as Ramza takes out a vial with a needle on it, which is filled with the demon drug. Is that? Questioned Rhys. Yes, this is your downfall. Prepare yourself for death, said Ramza. Ramza stabs himself in the neck and injects the demon drug into his body. Rhys gets ready as he feels Ramza is going to be stronger now. He watches as he sees veins pop out on his face. Ramza rushes Rise at high speed and swings his scythe at him. Rise tries to block it, but the force is enough to throw Rise back through the wall, which brings him outside into the town. Chapter 12, Monster. Rise gets up in the middle of the streets as Ramza emerges and goes for a mighty swing. Rise tries to counter by slashing back, and when their blades collide, it creates a shockwave that makes nearby buildings fall apart. Make sure you don't die too quickly, said Ramza. Ramza grabs Rhys by the throat and starts running through the nearby building as a human meat shield goes through the wall, while Ramza laughs like a madman before he throws into another house in the village. Come on, Rise, said Ramza. You were tough back there, or was that all just talk? He watches as Rhys emerges from the house's wreck and sees that he is not fazed. His suit is ripped up more where his chest is exposed, and the only thing that remains is his pants and his whole sleeve, which hides his demon's left arm. Ramza sees the number on his chest. "Nah, I am not done yet," said Reese. "That number on your chest symbols how screwed you are," said Ramza. 13 is a bad luck number. "This number means something to me. It's a sign of my brotherhood," said Reese, getting ready to keep fighting. "I love that this is going to test this drug out finally," said Ramza. Ramza lunges at Reese once more and goes in for a slash which cuts Rise in the chest, making blood come out and splatter. "Damn," said Rise. "I am weak right now." Reese looks down but sees something strange. He sees one of the circles around his number glowing, and that is when he remembers. After his demon powers are sealed, he remembers what Nightingale told him in Ray's living room. This seal should be able to hold your demonic powers back, but it has 3 layers built into it. When you reach a critical condition while fighting a demon, it will give you an option. You can get 33% of your demon powers back when it glows. It works the same with each layer. Once all 3 are broken, you have all your demonic powers back, and I will have to replace those seals, writes Nightingale. "So, when you are near death, I will be able to get some power back to help you against a tough one," said Raz. Nightingale erases her whiteboard and writes again. "That is correct, but the DHO will be able to pick up your demonic presence once again." Reese starts to laugh, and now he remembers that. "What's so funny?" asked Ramza. "Nothing, I am just going to get more serious now," said Reese with a smile. Reese touches the glowing circle on his chest, and a ring comes out and shatters, which makes one circle go away, giving back 33% of his demonic powers. Ramza goes in for another slash, but Rise blocks it and parries him off, which surprises Ramza. Rise then goes in for a slash with his blade, which Ramza tries to block, but the force blasts him back into a nearby building. Ramza gets back up and goes for slashes, which blast comes out. Reese counters by slashing a blast that was made of fire. When the blast clears, Ramza can sneak behind Rise and try to cut his head off. Reese could summon the demon sword and block from behind before he could hit. "Another sword?" questioned Ramza. Reese tries to slash back, but Ramza jumps back. "Just give up," said Reese. "You can't beat me." Ramza starts to laugh at him. "Why would I? We barely got started here." "I admit, after some strange things I have seen," said Ramza, "you are not human." "Shit, he might be onto me," thinks Raz. "It does not matter what you are. I think it's time I test the new drug," said Ramza. He takes out another vial with a needle and a different liquid color. "Another drug?" questioned Reese. "That's right, a new and stronger one," said Ramza. Reese thinks about what happened to Ramza's men. "No, if you do that, you will become a monster," he shouts at Ramza. "Like being a human is any better," said Ramza. Ramza injects the new demon drug into him, and he starts to have more veins on his face. But something happens as Ramza sees his left arm begin to become good. "No!" yelled Ramza. Ramza before his whole body melts into a pile of goo. "I am sorry, I wish it were never like this," said Reese, feeling as if he could have prevented this. "Are you pitying me?" questioned the goo, who was Ramza. This spooked Rise as he watched the goo morph into a massive monster in front of Rise. He looked like a vast dragon-like creature with 3 heads. "I will crush you," said Ramza. Ramza starts stomping down at Rise, but Reese can dodge this attack. "You fool, you only made yourself slower," said Reese. Reese would go in and cut one of his front legs. Ramza starts to breathe fire down at Rise. He blocks it, but still gets a little burnt. But suddenly, one of the heads got cut off on the right, which stopped the attack. Ramza looks and sees John, who was bandaged up from being stabbed. "John," said Rise. "Looks like you need some help," said John. "So, I guess you could not be killed after all," said Ramza. "And you seem to have gotten bigger since I last seen you," said John. Chapter 13, Aftermath. Rise attacks from underneath, while John attacks from above, flying around Ramza from above. Rise attacks the foot and tries to make Ramza immobile, but a kick knocks Rise back. John is stabbing one of the heads with his sword. "Rise in one attack!" yelled John. "Right," said Rise. They both go for an attack on Ramza's torso and can land a cross slash on his stomach, which makes Ramza fall onto his back. "Is it over?" questioned Riz. "No," said John. They watched as Ramza's body started to morph into a new form. He had a humanoid body. His skin was black and full of scales. He had no face, only his eyes, which were yellow and dragon-like. He had 2 horns. He popped out a blade from his left wrist. He would then pull out his scythe from his back. "I will kill you," said Ramza. "You need help. Give up before it is too late for you," said John. "I'd rather die a monster than return to what I was," said Ramza. Ramza lunges at them, especially at John. But before he could strike, Rhys stepped over, stabs Ramza in the torso. "I'm sorry," said Rhys. "Ignite!" Excalibur gets engulfed in flames, and Ramza starts to melt until he is a puddle of goo on the ground. It begins to rain, which washes him away into the town's sewers. Rhys looks upset, as he feels things could be resolved another way. "Are we the bad guys?" asked Rhys. "I cannot answer that, my friend. The only thing now is that the people from this town can rest in peace because of what we did today," said John. Later that day, John and Cyrus were talking in their office at their base. "Have you gathered everything from the factory?" asked John. "Yeah, I got everything I could before the DHO came to collect," said Cyrus. "Good, we can use what we found to finally get the drugs out of the demon hunter's hand," said John. "Yeah, but Rhys, he seems a bit down after what happened," said Cyrus. "I do not blame him. I have questions too. I wonder what the DHO will say about Hotham," said John. "Ramza was responsible for what happened to that village." "Are you saying the DHO might sweep it under the rug?" asked John. "Probably it would make them look bad if one of their captains failed to do the one thing they are meant to do, which is protect the people they serve," said John. "Damn, now it feels like we are powerless," said Cyrus. A few days would go by, and DHO would come out with a statement that demons had attacked and Ramza would die protecting them. This was a big lie to hide the absolute truth of what happened. The only ones who knew the truth were the ones who seen what happened, but life would resume. John and Cyrus would come up with a case that would make the DHO ban the demon drugs to keep them quiet. As for Rhys, he seemed very unsure of what to do. Rhys was in his causal clothes, sitting on a dock in a harbor in New Gotham, looking at the horizon. Judas was walking up to him. "Hey, little brother, how you doing?" asked Judas. "Hey, Judas, it has been a bit," said Rhys. "I heard what happened by Cyrus," said Judas. He goes and sits down next to Rhys. "I was a bit shocked what came out from it," said Rhys. "I would never expect the DHO to be like this. What would Gramps think? I know this was never his vision of what would become of the DHO, but there are some good people and some bad people. Just try to find the good people," said Judas. "That is the best I can tell you." "Thanks, Judas. I need that," said Rhys. "Anytime, it's my job as the older brother to keep you guys in line," said Judas. "So who keeps you in line?" asked Rhys. "Hey, that is for me to know," said Judas. They both laugh as they keep gazing at the horizon. Meanwhile, Cyrus and John were finishing up paperwork at the office. "Man, I hate this part of the day," said John. "Well, we get through it," said Cyrus. He sees 2 letters in their mail basket. He goes over and looks at them. They were addressed to John and Rhys, who had been invited to participate in a tournament called the Celestial Tree, one of the biggest in the DHO. "Whoa, boss man, check this out," said Cyrus. He hands them over to John and he looks at them. "Oh, now this might be the best thing we got all week," said John. "I expect this might cheer Rhys up. But think, this could be a good way to position you for a promotion," said Cyrus. "Indeed, only those the DHO find worthy are invited. If one of us wins, this could be great for our chances to win people to our side so that our case can be published," said John. To be continued in Volume 2.